Welcome into the Word with G right here on ESPN 1420, ESPN1420.com, and the ESPN 1420 mobile app. You could have been anywhere on the airwaves, but you're with me, and I appreciate that. Spencer Urquhart, welcome to the Fantasy Football Lounge. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing great, Greg. I'm doing great because, like you said, live action is returning this week. Oh my goodness, I'm excited, man. It's gonna be like a kid on Christmas morning.
Going into week one, Spencer, it doesn't feel like you should have many questions. It should just be like, look, start your studs and let's roll.
Correct, definitely, especially for your running backs and receiver spots. But I'm in a lot of leagues where my flex spot is very, oh man, it's so tough. Like flex spots in a lot of leagues for me are up in the air right now, trying to make sure I make those right calls. And I've got my initial week one rankings ready to go right here for y'all, so we can go over those if you'd like. Kind of dive into each position and see who are the players I'm liking. I went over the schedule to see how the matchups were looking for week one, to see what guys have favorable matchups, which ones don't, and which ones are worth starting for this week.
And that's the difficult thing about week one is that we can use last year to sort of project this year, but there's so much turnover year to year and, injuries had happened and, guys are switching teams and draft picks and whatnot, and teams just change sometimes so much year to year, Spence, that we don't know exactly what the matchups are really going to look like. I mean, we can guess and we can make the best guess possible, but when it comes to a week one matchup, we haven't seen any of these teams, especially no preseason. We don't know what to expect.
Yeah, that's why it's tough, especially for those flex spots. Of course, you start your studs. That's the no-brainer thing. You don't want to get cute and be like, oh, well, I got, I'm trying to think, it's like the Raiders and Panthers playing each other, both bad defenses on paper, so good matchups. Like Bryan Edwards, for example. I'm not going to start Bryan Edwards over a proven stud like Jarvis Landry. I mean, Edwards, yeah, he's getting a lot of camp hype, but we don't know yet. It's still too many unknowns to make a move that bold in week one.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to figure out your flex spots and you got to do what you have to do. And you're looking at the matchups. And like I mentioned, Texans, Chiefs, week one. And we'll kind of go matchup by matchup and talk about it on an elementary basis. And then Spencer will give us his week one rankings as